6-minute podcast. Business, study, life.
Ever totally misheard someone?
Oh, yeah.
Like they said, I'm going to grab a cat, and you're like, why?
Yeah.
But then you realize they actually said, I'm going to grab a cab.
Yeah, it happens all the time. That's spoken English for you, right?
It is. And that's exactly what we're diving into today. It's all about assimilation and elision.
Right.
Those sneaky little things that change how we speak English. I'm joined by expert name, who's going to help us decode all of this stuff.
Absolutely. These are those hidden mechanics that most people aren't even aware of. They're working all the time, like behind the scenes, to make our speech smoother, more efficient.
It's true. It's like our mouths just want to get things done, like as quickly as possible with the least amount of effort.
Exactly, yeah. And Jonathan Marks, actually, who we're looking at for this deep dive, uses this great analogy of someone learning to walk versus a seasoned marathon runner.
Okay.
It's that difference between kind of clunky and hesitant versus smooth and effortless flow.
Makes sense.
It's the same with speech.
Yeah. So how does that work when it comes to speech?
So it all comes down to these little sound units. They're called phonemes. And instead of being these rigid building blocks, they kind of blend into each other. They influence each other in the stream of speech.
Okay. So let's talk about assimilation then. And this is something that I think we've all experienced, but might not know the name for it. So the classic example is 10 people becoming 10 people.
Right.
What is the deal with that?
So it's not that you're saying it wrong.
Okay.
It's your mouth being efficient. When you say 10, your tongue is touching just behind your teeth for that N sound. That's called the alveolar ridge, if you want to get technical.
I love this. You're throwing out the anatomy terms.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the next sound is people, which is a P sound, and that uses your lips. So to go from the alveolar ridge to the lips, it's much easier for your mouth to just swap that N sound for an M, and that M sound also uses your lips. So it's just streamlining the whole process.
So our brain is like, we can all hear where this is going. Let's just make it easy.
Yeah, make it more efficient.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay. So that happens all the time, not just with 10 people.
Yeah, 10 grand. Becoming 10 grand is another good example.
Well, so it's not just a 10 thing.
No. It's any of those alveolar sounds, so the TDN sounds, especially when they come before a sound that uses your lips. So like a B sound or a P sound.
Fun.
Those are called bilabials. Or even if it's followed by sounds made with the back of your tongue, which are velar sounds.
Okay, so we're already I'm learning about a whole world of sound manipulation that I never even knew existed. And this isn't just between words, right?
Yeah.
Like input becoming input.
Exactly. It's a great example. Assimilation within a word.
Yeah, it's like those sounds just can't resist each other.
They just glom right onto each other. And sometimes they get so close that they actually fully merge into a totally new sound. And that's what we call coalescence.
Coalescence. Now, there's a word I haven't heard in a while.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's a good example of that?
So think about got you, if you say that quickly. Got you. It turns into gotcha.
Gotcha.
That's coalescence. Those two sounds becoming one.
So much more efficient than the got you.
Exactly.
Our brains are amazing.
They are.
But what about when sounds just totally disappear?
Yeah, so that's what we call elision, which is like the phantom of the phonetic world.
Okay.
And this happens a lot with that schwa sound. That sound.
Right, like the A in about.
Exactly, yes. It's so unstressed that it just gets swallowed up sometimes in rapid speech.
Right.
There's like potato today or police.
Which leads to some interesting pronunciation situations. Potato.
Exactly.
It's like a shortcut.
It is. It is a shortcut.
Right.
Christmas becoming Christmas.
Wow. It's like our mouths are doing magic.
Right.
But it's not even it's not just sounds that disappear.
Yeah.
It's whole syllables sometimes.
Yeah. So those are called weak forms, where it's a word or a syllable that gets reduced in casual connected speech. So something like, I'd rather not. That sound in rather a lot of times just gets dropped.
It does. Or that'll do.
Yeah.
Becomes like nothing.
It's incredible how much we condense.
It's true.
Without even thinking about it.
So this is all really incredible. So we're carrying around this secret language toolbox.
Yeah.
That we're using all the time and don't even realize it.
Yeah.
That's wild. But this has big implications, especially for English learners.
Oh, absolutely. Because imagine trying to learn a language where what you see written down is not necessarily what you're going to hear. And just like any any skill that takes practice, right? Learning these things, paying attention to these details, it really elevates your speech.
It does. So we can't just decide to start dropping sounds and expect to sound fluent.
Right. It's about, you don't want to sound too robotic. It's really finding that balance. But, just being aware of these things can make us better speakers.
Yeah, seriously. This has been amazing.
Oh, it's been so fun.
I'm never going to listen to English the same way again.
I hope not.
No, it's a good thing.